Okay, I should be live now. Let me tweet out the link to everybody. Oh, awkward time to get a phone call. Okay, so hello everybody. Okay, we already got Dre in the chat telling me how well the stream is going. Uh, Everyone seems to be complimenting me on how well the stream is going. Uh, okay, Brennan's here, Jason Poland's here. Oh, no, I have not started drinking yet. Actually, let me take care of that issue right now. Is it against YouTube's terms and conditions to drink on camera? Yep, Jason answered my question. And demonetized. It's the only way to start drinking, just peer pressure. It's the way to start. But let's not talk about my beloved New York Knicks. Oh yeah, of course I've been bullied already. This is the way how it goes. I get bullied for a good half an hour. Does anyone actually have any questions, or am I just gonna get just straight up just come to stream and just get just bullied? Shaking my head. Shaking my head. Whew. I don't know. It seems like, to me, in terms of whether if the Brooklyn Nets actually build a dynasty, which I don't think it's gonna happen. I feel that the Brooklyn Nets are far too top heavy. They have their big three, but no depth on the bench. I don't think that this can actually last long term for the Brooklyn Nets. Uh, Even before this, the Nets weren't a popular team for the most parts. People who like people enjoy the Nets as a protest team to the New York Knicks. That's pretty much it. Like, the Nets solely exist to be like, hey, we don't like James Dolan. We're gonna support this other team. Okay. Let's see. But oh man, I I want to talk about Formula E, but man, I could go on about the Nets and how they're not long for this world. Yeah, it feels like I am stuck between a rock and a hard place where it's like, I love the Knicks, but I don't like James Dolan. There's Brooklyn, and Brooklyn is, well, Brooklyn. They're more of a brand than a basketball team that sells like, hey, we're gonna rip off the now Las Vegas Raiders color scheme of black and white and sell as much merch as possible in our in our pretty much brand new arena in a gentrified neighborhood in downtown Brooklyn. But let's move on. Let's talk about motorsport. Let's talk about Formula E. Uh, uh, to the question about whether Mercedes will dominate Formula E. Personally, I don't think it's going to happen. There are way too many mechanisms in place to stop a team from outright dominating. Despite the closest to dominating we have now is, DS Techeetah, and their current domination is not on like Formula One levels of domination. They could easily have a bad day and get beaten on any given Saturday. It's not They're not running away with races. They just happen to win more than anyone else. Yeah, I'd like pretty much the other riot in the chat. Yeah, pretty much. Uh, I'd say there is theoretically there's enough development room for a team to run away. The fact that like because the window for development is so narrow that everyone focuses on similar areas. So uh, Mercedes don't have the opportunity to run away because there's so many people chasing them. Uh, yeah, and when he do, I don't. while qualifying is important, and where you start in the race is important, like handicapping the people, who lead the championship by putting them in the first qualifying group is a disadvantage. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's the sole determining reason why people don't win more races in a season. Like Formula E, if you're fast, you're fast. You're gonna, like, as much as people complain about the tracks being absurdly narrow. There's if you want to pass someone, you can. If you're faster than someone else, you will get by them. Danny's question: how many manufacturers will be left? Uh, I think for the most part, maybe in terms of like net, in terms of how many manufacturers Formula E loses, maybe by the start of the next generation, it'll probably be like a net one loss. Right now, we have two manufacturers leaving: BMW and Audi. Even though Audi's leaving but not leaving. They won't have a factory team anymore, but they'll still be supplying Virgin. And I think a new manufacturer is going to come in. I think it'll be one. I don't think it'll be two, and it'll just wash out to be a net loss of one manufacturer. I don't think it's as big as a deal that a lot of people on social media are making it out to be. I think openly, a lot of people want Formula E to fail because they feel like if Formula E fails, then electric racing fails as a whole, and I don't think that's the case. It's just making a massive deal out of something that's fairly minor and happens in Formula One all the time. uh, Well, I'd say to the question if the London E Prix is going to happen at some point or it's been permanently struck off the calendar. I'd say it's it's a big to be determined. It it's going to happen eventually. If not this season, which this season's looking very unlikely based on the current conditions of the global health crisis. It's probably not going to happen this year, but like if it's most likely going to happen next year or the year after, it's going to happen at some point. I'd probably say it's Hyundai that's going to come into Formula E. Like if McLaren come into Formula E, I'd be very, very impressed if they came in as a manufacturer. If they decided, hey, we're going to build a complete powertrain on our own, I'd personally be very impressed. Yeah, the London Formula E track is literally insane. With I think the circuit still is slated to have a double hairpin, an indoor section. It's it'll like the London Formula E circuit is probably going to be the closest equivalent to Monaco in Formula One that they will ever have in racing, where it's literally, hey, we're racing, electric cars have the capability of going like 180 miles an hour inside a convention hall, which is insane. Yeah, I mean, it's not possible to D and Q in Formula E, but if you're sitting at the back in Formula E, you look really bad, especially in a series that is, you know, has such parity like Formula E. Oh, like Formula E at Monaco is probably, like, they're the right speed and the kind of cars to actually make Monaco work how it was originally designed to work. Formula E at full Monaco is going to make Formula 1 look like a joke. Give me a second. It's telling me the bit rate is too high. Oh. Okay. That's a whole lot better. Yep. The next driver I'm aiming to beat in iRacing, I don't know. Whoever shows up, I'll drive him hard. I'm not gonna get I'm not gonna get Prelude again. Please God, I don't want to get Prelude again. And yes, the New York E-Prix is in Brooklyn. uh if I do get the chance to race Alex Palou again, I'm gonna be more heads up than I was last time. Hey, just because I slander Brooklyn doesn't mean I can't go to Brooklyn. Yes, they are doing the full track at Monaco. They said this in the run up to the race last year, that last year, before it was canceled, they were going to do the full circuit in Monaco. It's been a known thing for 2 years. Uh, I don't know what the pace will be. It'll be like slightly slower than Formula One. Like the Formula E cars accelerate better than the F1 cars. The straights aren't really that long, so the F1 cars wouldn't be able to, you know, in a hypothetical drive away from a Formula E car at Monaco. Oh, I think it's in terms of if Formula E will have as many canceled rounds as Formula as as many canceled rounds as last year. That's uh, time will tell. It's obviously the situation on event restrictions differ from country to country, and that's where it's going to come down to Formula E, where it's is it safe to have major major sporting events in urban city centers? It differs from place to place. Some places, say like Auckland in New Zealand, no problem, can definitely do that. You say, here in New York City, that's a big no. It's not going to happen. And I think formally, it's that issue where you're in a major city center. Obviously, they're trying to find workarounds for that. Like they're going to Valencia, their testing venue, to have an event. Formula One does not have this issue because they race at permanent venues where they could easily shut it off from the outside world and not have any fans or anyone else involved. And they just literally just isolate themselves from the outside world. Uh, yeah, the AlphaTauri livery. Which one do I prefer? Personally, I don't really care. Like maybe I prefer the new navy blue livery better. Like it reminds me of the Williams Hondas of the early '80s, not the Williams Cannon Hondas, but but it's I don't have a massive preference on which one I like more than the other. Oh Lord. Trey, what are you doing in the chat? Comparing. I find the AlphaTauri livery the equivalent of British cuisine, bland. Then Dre decides to reply like putting beans with Weetabix. Oh my god. Any more races and sailing left? Well, in about 3 hours' time, the Prada Cup, the Challenger Selection Series for the America's Cup, will continue, despite being apparently originally the series was being put in brief hiatus to next Friday due to an elevated COVID alert in Auckland, New Zealand. But then after the current leader of the series, Luna Rosa Prada Pirelli, decided, hey, we want to race this weekend, and if you don't, we'll threaten to end the series and declare ourselves the winners and challengers for the America's Cup, because it's in the rules, we could do this, so we want to race or we're just ending it now. Yes, Italy is about to sweep. So basically, what had happened was that there was a bylaw in the America's Cup rules saying that the challenger of record. So basically, the America's Cup works like, say, MMA or boxing, where someone challenges the title holder for the cup. And the first challenger, the challenger of record, which in this case happened to be conveniently Luna Rosa Prada Pirelli, the Challenger of Record is technically the organizers of the Challenger Selection Series. So the competition that we're talking about right now, technically Luna Rosa is the team that runs it. And there's a bylaw in the rules stating that if the event goes past its originally scheduled final day, that the challenger of record has the right to end the competition and declare the team with the most wins at that point as the winner and official challenger for the America's Cup. And right now, the team with the most wins at the moment is Luna Rosa. So if that were to happen, and Luna Rosa decided, hey, we're just gonna end it because it's in the rules and we could do it, and it happens to benefit them because they are the team with the most wins. Oh, so basically, Emirates Team New Zealand and the America's Cup organizers, they're pretty much Emirates Team New Zealand being the current holders of the cup, and they run. Obviously, this event's being run in New Zealand. They're hosting the event. They want the Challenger Selection Series to be decided on television, not in what's effectively, in racing terms, the steward's office, that they decided. So basically, they got put in a hard place because Luna Rosa said, run the races this weekend, or we're just ending it right now. And they decided, okay, we give in. We'll run it this weekend behind closed doors. Because the America's Cup has an exemption to run despite there being an elevated COVID level, thanks to the New Zealand government and Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern giving the America's Cup, the exception to run behind closed doors, despite everything. But yeah, also, another reason why Luna Rosa wanted this to happen is that they currently lead the best of 13 series, so first to 7, 4-0 on Ineos Team UK. Ineos Team UK, obviously being, if you follow Mercedes Formula One team on social media, it's basically a sister team to Ineos, Mercedes F1. And Luna Rosa don't want to give Ineos Team UK any more development time to possibly improve their boat. They want to get the series done as soon as possible. They're up 4-0. They just need 3 more wins, and it's over. And they theoretically, in the 4 races that are scheduled to be run this weekend, could end the race, end the series before the weekend's over. Oh, Lord. Trey in the chat. Jacinda finally caved and it was for fucking boats. Amazing. Well, boats are worth a lot of money to New Zealand's economy, so they need the boats to happen. They don't need Luna Rosa coming in saying, nope, wrap it up, boat's not happening, we win, see y'all guys next month for the America's Cup. They need the boat racing to happen because the TV deal's in place. Like, can we please not talk about the Knicks? Vic in the chat, will this finally be the year the Knicks make the playoffs? Honestly, I don't know. I just don't know. Anything could happen. Like, Tibbs could run Julius Randle into the ground, and then next thing you know, he's out for the rest of the season and is his year over. Because that's pretty much what it's down to. Can Julius Randle hold out for the whole year, putting the offense on his back? And I don't think that's going to happen. But it's been a while since the Knicks made the playoffs. I like, deep down inside, I want the Knicks to make it, but I know they're not gonna make it. It's it's just a matter of time until they collapse, and then it's clear that hey, we should have tanked this year. We really should have just tanked this year. Okay. Dre asks, "What's my opinions on deep dish? He demands a thesis by Monday." So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this right here, live on the internet. I have no problems with deep dish pizza, but deep dish pizza is not pizza. Just end up. It's not pizza. Like it is cheese and tomato sauce casserole. You can't honestly tell me it's pizza. I'm sorry. I'd say he's a source. I wouldn't say reputable, but he's definitely a source. Ugh. What about pan? Pan pizza. Pan pizza's fine. Pan pizza is in its own category. It tries to somewhat be pizza, so fairness, pan pizza is pizza. So it's automatically above deep dish, which again is not pizza. Ugh. Are potato waffles actually waffles? Oh no. Oh no. Someone act. No. Thoughts on pineapple? No. No. Pineapple pizza? No. Never. Never. Get that abomination out of here. Pineapple does not belong on pizza. It is not one of the approved ingredients. I. I can't believe someone would even ask this. Why? No, Jason. We're not. People need to know. It's like, why would you put pineapple on pizza? What kind of monster would put pineapple on pizza? Like all discussions on the Motorsport 101 Discord, this has devolved into chatting about food. No, Tuna can't be on pizza. I'm sorry. It's like Sergio needs to go to jail. Uh, Waffles or pancakes. Personally, not gonna lie, I could go for some waffles right now. Right now, waffles. It's waffles has a certain crisp and crunch, and it just holds syrup just right. Okay. Okay. Anchovies are okay because it is just one single strip of anchovy. It is not a whole sea of anchovies covering the pizza like it is a plate. Okay, I get one FIA presidential veto on any rule in Formula One's rule book right now. What do I use it on to change? Hey, I'm sorry, Dre. I'm gonna ignore your question for a second. Nobody said that tuna needed to cover the whole pizza, but last time I checked, the only tuna pizza I ever saw, it was just a thick layer of tuna. I'm sorry. Once you go that far, tuna's out. Tuna can't come back. Tuna walked out that door, door's locked. Okay, if I had a veto on any rule in Formula One's rule book right now, I'd use it to change. This is going to be controversial. I already know it. But right now, Monaco has an exemption that it is only 270 kilometers, while all the other races are 305. And I think we should remove that exemption from the rules. Monaco needs to go back to being 100 laps long. I'm sorry, it's the way it ought to be. Monaco 100 laps. I know we'll be there all day, but man, it'll be a race of attrition, and people would really love that dumpster fire of a race. What non-grade 1 track would I like to see in Formula 1? Uh, okay. Okay, non-grade 1 track I'd like to see in Formula 1. I'd say we move the French Grand Prix away from Paul Ricard and we move it to Le Mans. And I'm not talking Bugatti Circuit at Le Mans, I'm talking the full Circuit de la Sarthe. I want F1 to run the full circuit. Let's see that mess. I want it in my life right now. With chicanes. With chicanes. I'm not trying to get people hurt here. With chicanes. It's like, I don't have a death wish. Whatever happens to Lamar stays to Lamar. Oh my god. Okay, which Motorsport 101 guy is quickest on track? Quick answer, it's Cam. It's just Cam. I don't even have to, like, take this seriously. Okay. why do why do I hate Mike Hawthorne? People don't need to see me go into detail about why I hate Mike Hawthorne. Oh, Lord. Okay, I wouldn't go that far. Mike Hawthorne is not the 1950s Nikita Mazepin. As much as I hate Hawthorne, I would not wish that on anyone. I can't believe someone would say that. I can't believe someone actually had me somewhat defend Mike Hawthorne in any way, shape, or form. Oh, Lord. Whoa. Oh, Lord. Yes. Okay. I guess you're right. Mike Hawthorne has killed people. So. Well, not directly. I would say manslaughter at best. But Mike Hawthorne hasn't committed murder. Manslaughter at best. I'm not saying anything about anything that that Nikita Mazepin's father might have done, unless I just want to just preface everything with the word allegedly. Okay. Okay. Tony Stewart was only implicated in the death of one person. There's a big difference between one person and the Lamar disaster. It's like, god damn, chat, you guys are monsters. Like, chat. God. I can't. Why? What? It's like, let me reiterate this. It's like, you're making me, like, actually weigh. It's like, who's worse? Mike Hawthorne or Nikita Mazepin? How could you do this to me, chat? How could you do this to me? It's like, you guys, okay, legit question, who's going to finish third in Formula One as driver and team? Let's see, third in this year's championship? Well, for his own sake, I hope third in the championship this year is Valtteri Bottas, because I don't think he's finished in second. And Lord, oh Lord, if he finishes lower than third, he's got bigger problems to worry about. I mean, yeah, in theory, they could replace him with George Russell, or they, Lewis Hamilton retires and they replace him with George Russell, and they keep Bottas with the excuse saying that, hey, we need a veteran to lead the team and, teach George Russell what it's like to be at a top team. Can we not mention that one time I slipped and gave Bottas a 10 out of 10? It was an accident, never meant to happen. Oh. Huh, see, Dre got himself in trouble. had to mention that, hey, maybe Mercedes could get Max Verstappen. Put yourself in a corner there, buddy. Do I really underestimate your genius? Okay, who gets last in the who gets last in points in the drivers and the constructors? I think, despite everything that happened, I think Williams is still going to finish last in the constructors. Last in points is going to be hard. Because I think a bunch of drivers are going to finish on 0 points regardless. I'll just throw this out there. Latifi finishes last. Like, are Haas really looking rough, though? Are, are Haas really doing that bad? Are Haas doing worse than Williams? Are people just that? Are people really just that, negative against Haas's selection in drivers? Which is fair. But in terms of actual on-track pace, driver lineup ain't bad. Their cars might be, worse than midfield, but they're still better than Williams. Ugh. Because, yeah, it would take a lot for someone to convince me that Haas are the absolute slowest team in Formula One. Like, it ain't a bragging point. Haas are definitely not going to be consistent point scorers. They're never getting a podium. They can't even think about winning a race, but they're definitely not a last place team. 3 points is still a lot more than 0 points. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, because genuinely, I think with the financial resources at the disposal of Haas, especially with the technical expertise they're getting from Ferrari, like, Haas are going to be fine this year. They're not going to be last. Would Gasly eventually leave AlphaTauri? And if so, who do you think replaces him there? don't know. I think I hate to say this, but I think for the most part, Gasly's safe for a couple of years someone someone really comes up through the Red Bull system to replace him. Some people have been saying it might be Yuri Vips. I don't know. Only time will tell. But right now, Gasly's safe at AlphaTauri, especially with Red Bull's deal with Honda ending soon. So it might seem that Tsunoda might be first out the door before Gasly. Uh, I think Gasly's going to be in Formula One for a while, just simply on the basis that Red Bull has no one to replace him with. Being in the caveat slot, if you may. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he could move to Alpine, but like, what? He's going to replace Fernando Alonso, and Alonso calls it quits in 2 years' time or gets fired. Like, what? It replaces Ocon? That's the issue with F1, where you're saying if a driver needs to move to another team, someone needs to get fired. That's that simple of. It's like, yeah, it's like, yeah, Yuri Vips hasn't shown his full potential in Formula 2. He's only done like he's done less than half a season in Formula 2. Number one, Esteban Ocon's not going back to Mercedes. He's no longer a Mercedes young driver. I think people just don't pay attention to this, but Esteban Ocon left Mercedes. Yes, Esteban Ocon is still being managed by Toto Wolff, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people have, especially because of the ownership changes of the team, that Ineos and Mercedes would have a lot of criticisms of Toto Wolff bringing in another driver that's managed by him, especially because the current driver on the team managed by Toto Wolff is Valtteri Bottas. People have a lot of question marks about Toto Wolff bringing in another one of his drivers that he manages. Uh, favorite driver to take pole position at Watkins Glen. That's oddly specific. Uh, like I wouldn't remember all the Watkins Glen's pole winners off the top of my head. Let me go to Wikipedia and cheat a little bit. Yes, he owns 33% of the team, but someone owns, like, two other groups own the other 66%. 33% is not a majority. Okay. Yes, the NASCAR Truck Series is about to do the NASCAR road course at Daytona in the wet. Who's ready? It's gonna be a mess. It is gonna be a mess. Yep, Josh in the chat. If Josh was Mercedes, big if, he'd give he'd give Bruno Giacomelli the second seat. Uh, that'd be interesting. It would be scenes out of Rocky Balboa if Bruno Giacomelli comes out of retirement to get in the Mercedes and try to race the statistically greatest driver in Formula One history. Okay, like saying that Ocon will beat Alonso with relative ease is kind of like Alonso has the out that like he's 40 years old. That Alonso shouldn't even be back in Formula One. Uh, yeah, like pretty much Ocon's in a lose-lose position right now. Number one, he beats a very much aged Fernando Alonso, or two, he loses to a very much aged Fernando Alonso. So question to Josh: if Bruno Giacomelli's been in a Formula One car more recently than Alonso, what season was this F1 car produced for? I'd be really impressed if it was for a season within the past 5 years. Now, I'd say we need to be in win now mode because it's either we win a championship now or we're never winning a championship at all. Oh, Lord. So yeah, Giacomelli was most recently in an F1 car, a 1982 F1 car. Oh Lord. Yeah, up until 2012, people said that 1982 was the most competitive F1 season of all time. That's true. No one died. Well, no one who raced in the 2012 season died that year. Whew. Oh yeah, yeah. If Marquez comes back, KTM are screwed. There's no way KTM could even have a good season if Mark Marquez just rolls up at just like, same old Mark Marquez. He's gonna come in, curb stomp the field, take the trophy, go home, say peace out everybody. I don't know about a I don't think a 90% Marquez would be too good. 90% would be like, okay, he's a front runner. I don't know if I was at the Renaissance Center right now at GM headquarters, I'd definitely be saying, "Destiny, Destiny. Thy name is still Magnuson." Chat. How much time we got left until the NASCAR Truck Series race? Because that's probably when I'm going to end this stream. Yeah, like Yoan Mir, as good as he was consistently all season to put in, you know, the season he did to win the championship without a win up until the point he actually got a win. Okay, so I got a half hour left. But yeah, Mir put in a miraculous, he won a championship the old school way. Just get good finish after good finish every given race weekend. Then he decided, hey, why not win one? Am I right? Okay, send in your questions. Last half hour. What do I make of the Yankees? It'd be a shame if the Yankees didn't make the World Series this year. We should win the division. Uh, we should make the World Series. The only issue is what's it looking like in the other league? The National League, especially the National League West, is looking real strong. Whether it be the Dodgers or if the Dodgers somehow don't make it to the World Series, it'll be the Padres. Uh, Like, I think we're going to enter an era of Major League Baseball where it'll be similar to what it was in the 1930s, where we had, we still had Murderers Row here in New York somewhat. We had Garrick, we had Ruth, and they were guaranteed to make the series every year. Though the National League team would pretty much always be the same. It would be the Gas House Gang from St. Louis, the Cardinals. This time replace the Cardinals with, surprisingly enough, the Dodgers. And the Dodgers look real strong. It's gonna take a real ball club to beat the Dodgers. Okay, question from Vic. How different is the F1 media landscape today if we're talking about 6-time world champion Sebastian Vettel and 5-time champion Lewis Hamilton? Honestly, if we're talking about a situation where we're looking at Vettel and Hamilton, I think a lot of people would look more favorably on Vettel because at that point he won 4 championships with Red Bull and then 2 more with Ferrari. While while with Lewis, what he won 1 championship with McLaren at the start of his career, then 4 with a very dominant Mercedes. I think it flip the narrative on who we consider. Well, at that point, considering things go the way and Vettel takes wins off Hamilton, neither of them would eclipse the all time wins record at that point. But he would still, it wouldn't be a question at that point. Schumacher would still be considered the greatest driver of all time. It would be more of a race to 7. Will Vettel get the 7 championships or Hamilton? Or there's the potential that neither of them actually get the 7. Oh, the Yankees rotation is going to be hurt. The thing about the New York Yankees, they don't show up till August. Let's be real here. They just clinch the division as early as possible, and then people's bodies just start collapsing. Yeah, I think there would be a bit of mockery. Like, I think Lewis would have it real bad if Sebastian Vettel was a 6 time champion and he was only 5. Because at that point, it would be clear that he's better than Valtteri Bottas, and he would still have that lost year to Nico Rosberg, and he'd clearly be better than Bottas, but still losing to Vettel. He would say that Mercedes is effectively Hamilton's team, that everything's going his way at the team, but he still can't beat Vettel at Ferrari, a clearly inferior Ferrari. Oh yeah, I think it would. I think it would still be making fun of Ferrari. We'd be saying how insane the driver lineup is at Ferrari. We'd say that this is the best 1-2 pairing that Ferrari's ever had with Vettel and Leclerc. Vettel would be, I mean, Leclerc would be Leclerc would be Vettel's liege, carrying the Ferrari sword so when Vettel eventually retires, he's there to keep slaying the Mercedes dragon. Yeah, we wouldn't be making as much money as Ferrari because somehow their car is able to win a championship. Uh, yeah, Arriva Bene would still have a job. Like, people don't care. Like, obviously, rumors have come out after Arriva Bene left that he was abusive to staff. Which, I mean, if you look at Arriva Bene, I'm not surprised. I'm not being prejudiced, but that guy yelled at people. So, well, yelled at people on camera on international television. So I don't know what he was doing back at the factory. But if he won, people wouldn't have cared. Yeah, it's incredible how Mauricio Arrivabene was allegedly abusive to staff, yet team morale went down after he left. What kind of workplace do you have to be in? Like, yeah, the guy that's yelling at us and like treating us like garbage left the team. Things at our workplace have actually gotten worse since he's left. This is weird. Sid saying personally it's because they don't have a leader. Bonato is no leader. I don't know. Does Ferrari really need a leader? Like, you can't stand here and tell me that like Jean Todt was a strong leader at Ferrari. That wasn't the case. He clearly delegated power to people who he delegated power to other people at the team. Like, Ferrari doesn't need a strong leader to succeed. That's sort of like blown up, over exaggerated that our race team needs to be led by a great charismatic figure who gives these inspiring speeches or goes out to the media and gives like bold, tweet provoking quotes. Like, I just don't think that's the case. I think Ferrari don't have a clear idea. I don't think Ferrari have a clear direction forward to solve what's wrong with their car. Like, they know their car's bad. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize, hey, the Ferrari is slow. But they don't know how to resolve that solution quickly and effectively. It doesn't take a leader to solve that problem. It's sort of a question, well, a problem of triage. Which problem is the largest at hand and they have the ability to fix? Well, the thing is, like, with a regulation change, it gives the opportunity that everyone somewhat starts with a blank slate. To restart, it sets everyone back down, a bit, and it gives the teams who develop their car well to get an advantage. Can Ferrari develop a car well? Don't know. Have to wait and see. It's a gamble. It's always a gamble. Yeah, I think that's the biggest issue with Vettel's time at Ferrari. That he tried to somewhat take, to make a comparison to the NBA, try to take a LeBron James role at Ferrari, where he was part player, part coach. Like, Sebastian has been in Formula One for, you know, close like, yeah, for over 10 years, close to 15 years at this point. He knows what makes a good team tick, and he tried to imprint that on Ferrari, and Ferrari was like, lol, no, just get in the car and drive. And it was never going to end well. It was never going to end well. Yeah, I'd definitely say that. Like, Jean Tot's biggest strength was pretty much isolating the Formula One team from the rest of the company's BS. Like, Jean Tot was given the unique opportunity to straight up build Ferrari, well, rebuild Ferrari from the ground up. That pretty much, he had total and complete control of the team to do what he wanted. It was a gamble. It could have went wrong, but it didn't. And like, it feels like things are going to be somewhat similar to that at Aston Martin with with Lawrence Stroll, with Otmar Safnauer, and Sebastian Vettel, especially with, you know, the team's new facilities, that the increased funding in the team, that Aston Martin are going to be able to step up and be, I wouldn't say race winners, but constant podium finishers. Okay, questions. Which teams do I think will join Formula E? Well, the biggest rumors at the moment right now that uh, two new manufacturers could be joining Formula E. Uh, that Hyundai will be, you know, the Korean car giant will be entering Formula E. Obviously, they've been making a push in more consumer side vehicles with in TCR and the World Rally Championship with their factory outfits in both those series. But they'll be moving, well, not moving, expanding to Formula E. And the other leading rumor is that Andretti Autosport, despite BMW leaving, they'll remain on in Formula E and try to attract Honda of America, specifically HPD, to come into Formula E to replace BMW. Do I like Andretti McLaren? No, Andretti McLaren is not going to happen. Like, As big as as big as a company McLaren is, I don't think that they would enter Formula E on their own. It would be in partnership with another manufacturer. And yeah, if HPD enter with Andretti, you could kiss any hopes of a McLaren Andretti HPD partnership away, because after what happened last time Honda and McLaren were together, that is never going to happen again. Like, Cam, you say you would be surprised if they convince HPD to join? While it does take a lot of resources to develop a Formula E powertrain, like with the restrictions in place, it's not expensive to do so. It's something that HPD could do. The fact that Dragon Racing could produce a Formula E powertrain, I think HPD could do it without a problem. Vic with the question. Can anyone cause an upset, or will 2021 be Dixon versus Newgarden for the IndyCar title again? I think you're right. It'll be Dixon versus Newgarden again. Uh, like, the only other person that could actually butt their way in and be a threat to either Dixon or Newgarden would either be another Penske driver, so either say Pagano, uh, yeah, just Pagano at this point, or maybe Alexander Rossi if Andretti Autosport get things together and can actually mount a championship challenge. I think the more interesting title fight to me this year would be, uh, well, he's not a rookie anymore. I'd probably say, like, Scott McLaughlin's probably going to win Rookie of the Year. But it'd be interesting to see how McLaughlin does against Alex Palou in his first year at Ganassi. I don't know if Colton Herta can mount a championship challenge. I'd really love to see him mount a challenge, but I think he would definitely be in the mix if Rossi is too. It's sort of kind of hoping that Andretti Autosport get out of his slump and mount a year long challenge. It'll, it'll definitely be also interesting to see how things work out with Rosenquist at McLaren. Like, Rosenquist and Award at McLaren are going to be terrifying. But yeah, I'd say heading into 2021, like, the obvious title favorites, Dixon Newgarden, would have to wait and see on everyone else. We'd have to wait and see if they really got the pieces together over the off season, and we probably won't know until we're heading into the month of May who really is a serious contender for this championship outside those top two guys. Okay, so let's say we got 10 minutes left before I leave and go to the server to watch some trucks in the wet at Daytona. Like Castro Neves and Ed Carpenter Racing, I where would I put like Elio? Like, cause like I don't think Castro Neves could. Like number one, like Castro Neves is only gonna be there part time, and I think Castro Neves is in that role where he's thinking about like Castro Neves doing his 6 race stint. He might be doing 6 races, but he's doing 6 races in preparation for 1 race. And we all know Elio's trying to cement his legacy by joining that elite club of drivers to win 4 Indianapolis 500s. Because I think the unfortunately, the part-time schedule is the new Indianapolis one-off, where you don't want to be in a situation like Alonso at McLaren, where you didn't have time to gel together as a team. May comes around, you're caught out. You want races beforehand to prepare, to really put things together as a team and mount a serious challenge at the 500. Oh God, Hardy appeared with the beard. But yeah, I put Castro Neves in that category where, like, Elio is still very quick behind the wheel. He could really, put up a challenge at the 500, but it's not the day of it's not the good old days of actually having an entire month of practice at Indianapolis. If you really want to be prepared for Indianapolis nowadays, you have to do races beforehand. And thankfully, Elio and Meyershank know this. They put a part-time schedule together to get themselves prepared for the 500 and also prepared to do it again next year if they do come back again together next year. Ugh. I never thought I would ever see this question. Would you rather fight one Zach Veach-sized duck or 100 duck-sized Zach Veaches? Um, Give me the one Zach Veach-sized duck, please, because 100 Zach Veaches is terrifying. I don't want to live in that universe. Just give me one Veach-sized duck, please. God. Now I'm terrified of ever seeing 100 Zach Veaches in one place. I don't care what size they are. 100 Zach Veaches is terrifying. Okay, so get your last questions in. I'll answer, quick fire last round of questions before I head off for this truck race. Best computer game, I'm Bread or Goat Simulator, that's Goat Simulator. End of question. I Am Bread is a bad game, I'm sorry. I don't want to know about Grass Simulator. I don't know Grass Simulators. Which is worse, 100 Zach Veaches or 100 Marco Andretti's? I'd say 100 Zach Veaches is worse. 100 Marco Andretti's would be pretty cool, not going to lie. Winner for the truck race? I don't know. Is the truck race on a road course in the wet? It is anyone's race. No, here's counterpoint. If there were 100 Marcos, it would always be his year. Okay, last minute. Get your questions in now. Tea. Always tea. That's always... that's... I prefer tea over coffee. Funniest stand-up comedian joke? I don't know. I can't really think of one off the top of my head. And I think... Ooh... Not gonna lie, I'm a sweet popcorn kind of person. Like, a nice glazed popcorn is real nice. Okay. And I think that's going to be... Okay, so I'm going to say good night. Last question is a hot dog a sandwich? Hot take, yes, a hot dog is in fact a sandwich. Now, you can subscribe to Motorsport 101. Listen to the podcast. Dre put out a video earlier today. You can go watch that. You can ignore the answer to the question I just gave. It was nice. Enjoy the podcast. Enjoy Jay's video. Watch the Truck Series race in Daytona. See y'all next time.